What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 7, and the title of it is called This Is My Decision Day. Now, occasionally, I don't like to go with the titles because I don't think it's fitting. And this one, I'm going to change the title this episode. I'm going to call it You Never Know Somebody Until You Live With Them. Because I got the feeling of that. It started to get real, to get a taste of what your spouse is going to be like. So before I get started, for those who are not familiar with my channel, I do reviews, recaps, rants on reality shows. I don't go scene by scene. I go by different points that stick out to me, and even though it's not a scene by scene, I do point out some details that I think about, and more so, I'll give you my opinion of what I think about the scene. And also, as the #1 YouTube commenter, this channel is all about comments. If you've been on other channels and you kind of didn't want to get in the comments, this is the place to do it. This is the place to get warmed up and get comfortable, because to me, the comments are the best part of the channel. I enjoy so much hearing y'all feedback, doing different debates. We teaching each other, having fun. It's just a good time all the time. And as I said, I don't do the thing where I say, hey, I need your subscription, I need your likes. I don't need that, but I need you in those comments. Even if you just say, hey, or you just say, I don't like it, say something. I need you. And that's the motto of this channel. Say what you say. So I need that I need something from you in those comments. That's very important. So I'll go ahead and get into the episode. And as far as everybody knows, if I do Married at First Sight, because the show is 2 hours, I like to break it down couple by couple. Now, just wanted to put it out there and get anybody who's interested in giving feedback. I'm thinking about doing actually like separate videos, so maybe I can get into slightly more detail about each couple and do, like, if there are 4 couples, I'm going to do 4 separate videos. I want to know what y'all think about that idea, because I'm a man of the people. I'm nothing without the Dub family. So let's start off with who we're going to start the day with. Let's go with Steve and Noy. So Steve and Noy, we see off the break them moving together. It's all about Sushi, and Sushi is Noy's dog. And we can see Steve's trying to be diplomatic about the situation, as far as Sushi cohabitating with Sushi. And Steve makes like several suggestions about like where Sushi should sleep, because we can see Noy is adamant about Sushi sleeping in the bed with them. Sushi can sleep on the couch. Sushi has 3 different beds, and Noy is just not, she's not really, I guess, being compromisable about it. And that is a touchy subject. And I can understand how Steve is treading lightly, because that's almost like, it's the same thing as like someone having a child before the marriage. And you have to kind of navigate your way so you won't offend them, because, of course, because y'all didn't raise the child or the Sushi together, you're going to have different views on how to handle them in the house. And Steve is really trying, but Noy is almost like it's my way or the highway kind of situation. And to me, she's kind of like forcing that connection with Sushi. And Steve doesn't really like dogs. And I don't think you can really say to a dog person, especially you're going to be living together, like, hey, I don't really like dogs. They're going to be offended. I don't care how you say it. It's offensive. It's like you saying, I don't like kids, and they got a kid. So it's absolutely a real topic. But it really shows me the mindset of Noy, of how she's just not a person who compromises. I mean, Noy has annoying ways altogether by herself. She's sweet, she's cute, all that good stuff, but she's pretty annoying. And she'll lay down the law about Sue. She's like, well, yeah, he will be sleeping in our bed. Is that okay? That's very passive aggressive. That irritates me. Like, are you asking me, or are you telling me what's going on? Because We already sleeping in a small bed, and now we gotta put sushi in the middle, and we never have the option to cuddle. Sushi is always gonna be in my face, in your face, in between us. That's not a compromise. So that's probably what it's gonna look like throughout the marriage, Noy's way or no way. And I can. That doesn't seem very promising. So of course, like throughout this episode, we're visiting different spouses' apartments, and we go to Steve's house, and this guy, he's like so proud of his LED light collection, like all in the bathroom, all in the wherever he got them. I mean, he's just proud, and Noy's looking like, I ain't really down for this. And Steve's like, we could take these LEDs and move them to the new place, or we can just buy all new LEDs for the new place. And Noy don't want no LEDs, which I don't blame her, but that's the kind of like quirks you get when you're moving in with a person. They like on another wavelength from you, and it doesn't seem more so like they're asking or trying to work things out. They're like, we need LED lights, or we need sushi in the bed. And that's where it can really get like tough, trying to merge lives together. And just like I said, focusing on Noy just not being able to compromise, it blows my mind. It just keeps going and going and going. Like now, Noy is so dead set on having 3 children and like not compromising. You know, it's an old saying I heard from off a Jay-Z album, 444. He said, "You wanna make God laugh? Just tell him your plans. You can never say I've got to have 3 children. You don't know what is going to happen in your life to say that you're not going to have 3 children. You may even have 5 children, but she is dead set on, I have to have 3 children." And getting into that, you know, because Pastor Cal came through like all the couples and try to navigate that. But that's something I forgot to say. Let me stop the video, put a pause on it, and give a big shout out to Pastor Cal. He finally came through and earned his paycheck. He didn't do anything miraculous. That's what the experts are supposed to do. They're supposed to get in there, kind of referee the fights and guide them in different directions and get them thinking in like a married sense and kind of get them out their old ways. And I really think he did his job. It wasn't perfect. I'm not expecting perfection, but I think overall he did a really good job. And to me, when Noy was talking with Pastor Cal about like why Noy's so set on having 3 children, she's like, well, hey, you know, I grew up with siblings, all 3 of us, and I just think that's perfect and it works. And it got really interesting. Why? Because Noy grew up in a hard life situation. She doesn't touch on it much because before I thought, you know, her family like lived in a refugee camp, and then she moved and things were tight, like they lived in 1-bedroom apartment. No, Noy remembers living in a refugee camp. And why would 3 children be an ideal setup when you're concerned about money and just being financial stable, especially when your husband don't even have a job? So that's the issue right there. So she's so stuck on 3 kids and there's no compromise. It just says like a whole lot about her. And more I'm starting to like less about Noy. She's getting annoying, and to be married and then not being able to compromise, that's not a good thing. It's absolutely not a good thing. So Steve, you know, Steve is always open. He wants to have 2 children, maybe if possible. He's playing his hands a spade. But he brought up a good point where you just don't know what's going to happen. Maybe one of the kids, I wouldn't like that he said that. I think could have gave us another scenario, but I got what he was saying. Maybe one of our children will be special needs and we need more attention, or even Pastor Cal it's like, hey, maybe one of the children just, you know, needs more. Or why is that so hard to see with Noy? But more importantly, it's with Steve in that mindset where this man, like Sriracha told him, like, you're 38 years old without a plan and you're not financially stable. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody's assuming that Steve is saying, like he's good. Ain't nothing about Steve saying he's good, but it don't even matter. You need stable income. The man could not have built a fortune off of working for 4 years in a company, and now what? He's without health insurance or steady income. Oh, he's freelancing. It takes more than here and there money to raise a family, and it's like it's beyond me that Steve is seriously factoring in, like saying, hey, well, yeah, he tries to be empathetic of Noise, saying, yeah, you came up hard and I know I need to provide financial stability for you. But in his confession, he's saying like, well, hey, me getting a 9 to 5, which sounds like a bad thing for him, is locking me down from my creativity. And I don't know if I'm willing to sacrifice that. That's like a total deal breaker. That's telling Noy that the setup that y'all are doing is not worth you stopping your creative mode. Now, guess what? The thing about marriage, you could have a creative mode, but you're going to have to build something first. You can't put your creative mode or what you want to do on the back of Noy when you have not consistently provided income, insurance, and all those kind of things, and have them in place for a long time. Then maybe if you get to a certain goal, you can say, hey, you know what? I do want to go in business for myself full time or what have you. That's how it's done. Not walking in, hey, I have a dream. I just met you. I'm going to need you to hold down the finances, the insurance, and everything. And guess what? We need to have a family as well while I work on my dreams. And this may take a while. I can't promise you a time. No, that doesn't work. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it's a new generation mindset. It's like a real selfish type of mindset where, like, that's okay. Well, what's wrong with Steve? Steve, he's probably good. Like Pastor Cal said, Noy doesn't have the luxury of probably being good, and really nobody should. I mean, you need something to stand on to say, hey, there is a check coming in every week or two steadily. There is benefits in place for you and the family that's coming in that you can count on. That needs to happen, but we living in a different world, because how I'm seeing it, I'm looking at these people's lives that they pick. Their lives are not together. No one's asking for perfection, but I'm seeing some flaming red flag issues going on here. It just bottom line on the basic living situation, and we can go from couple to couple. I was surprised to see Steve had his own he had his own place, but even Pastor, and I would say with Noy, Pastor Cal even tried to get her to open up her mindset, but even she's not willing. She's kind of stuck on what she's stuck on. And to me, if you ask me, so is Steve, but in the confessional. So that's problematic. Let's move on to the next couple. Let's touch on Katina and Olajuwon. Now, Olajuwon is Olajuwon. Like, this guy is so out there, so over the top. I don't know how anybody even talks to him. I mean, even staying in this marriage, Katina's going to have problems, because from the beginning, he's already starting his molding process. He's like pushing up on her, oppressing her about cooking and having, these hot meals that he is desiring. When he gets to, I mean, you can't even just like have a moment without it being so serious and so much pressure being put on. So like when Olajuwon brought Katina to his house, that ADHD start ramping up, and then he get to going. Well, I've never brought a woman to my home like this. I mean, I'm for real. Like I'm just, and he wants you to rate his house and his decorations, but you could tell he would get offended if you said something. And he has all these unrealistic expectations. And we say, before, when I was single, I could just grab some bread and peanut butter and be on the go. But I have a wife, I can't do that. Like, that's a criteria for you. You think your wife is bothered that you grab a piece of bread and some peanut butter to go to have something or to start the day out with something to eat? That she has to give you a meal every single day, every single meal, like she's your mom or something? I mean, it is quite ridiculous, and it's not looking like a marriage. It's looking like the way Olajuwon wants it, and I don't see Katina lasting in that. I think she's compromised, but I think she's going with the flow, and I think she's given a good balance of speaking up for herself. But dealing with Olajuwon is like exhausting. It's like too much. I mean, just simple stuff is way too much. He wants to bring her into his home, but he really doesn't want her input in his home because that's how he's treating it. It's his home. She can't make any changes. This costs too much, this, that. If they're working together and doing something, why can't she get what she wants or add certain touches, even if it costs money to make your house y'all's home? But Olajuwon doesn't get it. I don't think it's positive. I think he's way too over the top. I don't think, I mean, I cannot think of anybody. I don't know if any of these people are husband material. And it's really wild that like Katina is just going through the most. She's trying her best to, like, she's drowning. She's keeping her head above water. And you can tell Katina is really concerned about like what she's seeing out of Olajuwon, and she should be. Because again, she's right in the middle of this molding process where it's like she can't be herself. She just has to bend to what he wants. And that energy that Olajuwon gives it drowns me. I'm exhausted. I need a break after I hear him talking to her or talking about what he wants to do. He's like really controlling, and it's too much. It's too much. As far as like Pastor Cal coming to meeting them in their shared apartment, I really did like that Pastor Cal, he was more like an advocate of hearing Katina's voice, because talking to Olajuwon is like talking to a brick wall. Not more so like he's already talking over you or agreeing with you before you can get the point. Yeah, we already know. I know. He tried to finish your words and all that. That's not a person who's listening. That's not a person who's taking in information. And again, communication is probably the biggest component of any relationship that's going to be successful anyway. Olajuwon, he just doesn't have it. And what I did find out that what like blew me out the water, we found out that Olajuwon is the one who actually doesn't want to consummate the marriage. And I was just shocked because, I know Isaac, even from the honeymoon, he was probably like, yeah, the bed is ready and I'm waiting on you and all that kind of stuff. So his take is that he doesn't want to, I guess, rush into having sex with his wife just in case it doesn't work. And Pastor Cal put it to him, it's like, well, that shouldn't be a thing because you're saying that this is for sure going to be a long-term process, a commitment that you're making to her. So why are you worried about like breaking up? And, you can't ever tell if Olajuwon gets it, but because he's always shaking his head or agreeing with you or trying to finish his sentence, we don't know if he absorbs that. We need to get him some pills. But, yeah, that's tough. And going into that, like Olajuwon doesn't want to consummate their marriage. Katina is feeling rejected in the process. So I am like super shocked that he's gone that way. Maybe he's trying to change his way. Maybe he's trying to do something different. I have no idea, but yeah, we gonna see. I just don't see it for him. He's too much. He's too overbearing. He's gonna smother her. He's gonna try to control her and gonna be very demanding. Nothing like what a healthy marriage is supposed to look like. So I just decided to go this way. This couple is why I'm so glad I have a YouTube channel. I get to speak freely. I get to express my opinion because so many times, I am the number one comment on YouTube. I don't really get out what I need to get out through the comments because let's say sometimes the owner of the channel, whether it's on a live or in the comments, might kind of say, oh, well, hey, JW, you crazy, or you way off base, but I can't get my voice out there like that, or get my comments out like I want to, because I have such strong feelings about Jasmine and Michael, them being together. Like, people are like pointing the finger at Michael, and to me, I didn't. Hey, my wisdom, my intuition knew that the true Michael would be revealed and showed up. I already saw who he for what he was, but this episode it really showed, and I get to say it, put it out there, and then the people can come in my comments and we can go and debate. Because I don't want you to agree with me, but I need to get my point thoroughly out. This union disturbs my soul. It disturbs my soul because to me it kind of confirms how sometimes women are held at such a higher standard than a man. And in real life, and normally how it is, marriage is a partnership. However, for most marriages, the man is looked at as the head of the household, the situation. Not that there is an equal partnership, but if we're looking for protection, we're looking for the strength, if we're looking for the direction, we're kind of looking at the man. Because yes, it's a partnership, but when things go bad or look wrong, you kind of look at the man like, well, what did you do or what didn't you do? Because he's just a little more responsible in the situation. And they're like putting it on Jasmine. So they pretty much start out at the apartment, and it's real tense. And you can see like Mike got his arms crossed, and he's looking worried, as he's always worried. I don't even know how he enjoys any kind of life. He's worried. He's worried that when they move in, that they're gonna be seeing a lot of each other, and that may cause problems, which I understand. But the worry, that energy, you put it in your marriage, you put it out there. He's always worrying because they married at first sight. They don't know each other, and they're gonna be in each other's space. But according to Michael, he's gone 17 hours out the day. So I don't know how much you're gonna be seeing of each other, but I understood what he was saying. But the worry part for me, that anxiety filled situation, to me, it never wins. And Jasmine is pretty much now she ain't really listening to Michael. She's concerned now. She has an issue that she wants to get her dog in a new daycare, and she needs to not stay in the apartment, which is a lie. And that didn't alarm me. I wasn't alarmed by that. Excuse me. How many women, let's not say women, people have lied about if something was wrong with them, something's not bothering them. That happens every single day, and it's probably going to happen to some people watching this video today. Hey, is everything all right? Yeah, everything's okay. I'm good. People do that all the time, especially a woman. So, I would say she lied to Michael, of course, but she didn't want to say, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to stay here with you. I mean, she could have put it better than that, but she wasn't comfortable in the space. They're constantly going through it. She's not forgiving. I believe she sees Michael for who he is. So she'll never be comfortable being with him. And, excuse me, that was a lame excuse about the doggy daycare. So you have to go back to your house, stay there the night to work out the details of getting your dog in daycare. You're going to do it tonight? They got a midnight enrollment or something? We can't bring the dog here? But I didn't see it as alarming. She just did not want to say, I don't want to stay here with you because you and all your anxiety and worrying and aggression makes me uncomfortable. Okay, I get that. But what is alarming What is alarming is Jasmina asking Michael, hey, so, I've lived with a man, and I let you know, and I told you, but have you ever lived with a woman? And he looked her dead in the eye, flat out lie. Oh no, it's brand new territory for me. No, I wouldn't even know what that's like. Are we kidding? Michael fans, are we kidding right now? But guess what? I got that. Everybody's different. People are used to having unhealthy relationships. People are used to people yelling at them, lashing out at them. Hey, that's just a part of life and what it is. No, it can happen, but that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not healthy. But however, we're going to go. Michael, he don't even know what a woman even look like, what it would even be like. But he reminds me of a child. Like, you don't know why they're lying to cover up something. And it's such stupid reasoning that it is. And I'm thinking about this, Michael. You understand that, like, normally, I'm starting to wonder about this. Jasmina asked him more than once. I think she knew something. I don't know if she went on his social media or what have you. She knew something. And he's going to keep lying to her. No, I don't. No, never a woman. Women? Why would I do that? It gives me, I get it why he's doing it. I can break that down real quick. Michael is in survival mode all the time. He wants to give the most optimal answer that makes and looks and sound good. That's why I never bought that little apology that he did, and he's going to work back on it when he get to Boston. I saw through all of that. I've lived long enough to see through a Michael. He ain't real. He's not real. This man is a ball of trauma. He's a ball of trauma. He's in survival mode all the time, even when he don't have to be. So he got to give Jasmina the perfect answer. Never a woman. I don't even know what a woman looks like in the morning. I don't know. But the thing is, he covers up like a child. He lacks accountability. When it's brought to him, he blows it off. He brushes it off. That's alarming, especially in a marriage. You can't speak the truth. You lie for whatever reasons. And it's not even a big deal. You got the leverage right there. That was the perfect time to jump in. Oh, you live with a man? I live with a woman or two. Okay, but then that brings me to what I said about the candidates on here. I ain't gonna knock, or I don't even know what's going on in their lives or situation, but it's alarming again to me. Now you want to be a husband. You work 15, 17 hours a day, 6 days a week, and you got 2 roommates. What's the problem? What's the issue? You don't have no children. Ain't no child support coming out. What's going on? What's really good? What is going on? Sir, you're not ready. It's okay to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 roommates. You're not ready to be a husband. You're not. And these aren't little children. These are 30-year-old adults. They're not together. They're missing something. It's a problem. You don't have to put a stand on a man and say, oh, you got to be making this a certain amount of money, but something is off. He's working too much, but he needs to supplement his income, however the situation is, by living with 2 other people, especially women. Something's going on. Something's missing. I don't get it. Maybe they're his sisters or something. I don't know. But something is wrong. And you can see, like, when they got to discussing this situation, Jasmina was busting at the seam. She was fuming, like, how Michael lied and just straight to her face. And he'll look you straight in the face like, that's gaslighting. Like, what are you talking about? It never came up. It never came up. They got it on camera at least twice that she's asking about your situation. You did not say anything. You lied. Then Michael go in defense mode. Well, what I gotta lie for? What benefit would that do for me to keep that from you? Well, the man has no honesty in him. Women, you come across a man like that, that's not a man you want to be with. It only gets worse. It only gets worse. That's a character issue. That's a character flaw. And it's very important to have that type of relationship or marriage. You have to have someone that has some type of honesty in them, some type of accountability in them. It's a problem. It's ugly to me. It's ugly. Jasmina should have been gone. Jasmina should have been ran. He is not worthy. He's not worthy. Not that she isn't without issues. We all have issues. We can't even get to her issues because we always dealing with issues with Lil Mike. I mean, I definitely want to do a whole video on this. I got so much to say on it. And just going back with their meet with Pastor Cal, now Michael's denying that he's getting loud with her. I totally believe Jasmina in saying that Michael's aggressive, verbally aggressive. He's getting loud. He has a condescending tone. All that in itself is super red flag, especially when you can't hold accountable. Now he's saying, well, I might do all that other stuff, but I don't get loud. You might as well be doing it. When you're taking shots or talking slick to her and you're not taking accountability for it. Yes, people say things in the fit of anger or rage, or they being defensive. But when you can't take accountability that you're saying those things can break people down, men or women. That's verbal abuse. Some of y'all who don't know that. People are not supposed to talk to you like that. People can have a problem with you, but they do need to speak with respect and be considerate of your feelings. That's a problem. I would never suggest anyone to sit and go through that for a person who's not accountable for treating them that kind of way. It's absolutely ridiculous. I needed to get that out. I felt like my voice was stifled throughout the whole YouTube. This is my channel, so I can say what I say. It's absolutely ridiculous for her to stay in that. Pastor Cal made some great points. He was hitting points. Jasmina, if she's going to stay in a marriage, she has to be able to forgive. But at the same time, Michael has to be honest and transparent in his communication. But we know he's not capable of that. I can see why she doesn't connect with him for many reasons, but especially for things like that. What else is he lying about? It doesn't add up. It's ridiculous. Please, Jasmina, run. I know the show's over, but I'm still going to send the message to the past Jasmina. Run. He's not a good husband. He's no kind of husband. Move on. Let him go back to his roommates that he doesn't acknowledge or feel a need to say anything about. That is absolutely ridiculous. I wish he would have got up and walked out immediately. But enough about that. I do wish I did separate videos. I got that idea from another YouTuber, Tammy Talks. Now, she's the second hardest working YouTuber in the business under Miss Misha. She does separate videos for each person so you can get detail. And mine will probably be 30 minutes each, especially this Jasmine and Michael. But I'm going to try to move on because I didn't spend too much time with them. So let's go. Who we going to go with? Let's do Mark and Lindsay. Now, I would say with Lindsay, with her wonderful attributes of being a ride or die, got your back kind of wife, it's really coming off like she's Mark's mother. She's like nitpicking with him. She's full of suggestions. She wants to tell him how much water he should drink, what kind of container he's brushing his teeth wrong. I mean, what man wants to deal with that? Even though if she got a point, who wants to hear that? That's not having your back, that's mothering. And I can see how Mark is thrown off by this. And I wouldn't stand for it. But I would say I think we got Mark the Shark all wrong, or how they put it out there. Mark the Shark is more like a character. He's not like this. He might be a lot of energy as far as the party animal, or he's lively, or other than that, he's not a stand-up, take charge kind of guy. He probably straightened Lindsay out on the honeymoon with that, all them different situations, because that was relating to drinking. That was something that really triggered him because he dealt with that in his past relationship. But Lindsay is way too much for Mark the Shark. Mark the Shark is weak. Lindsay is running over him. Lindsay is making Mark the Shark afraid to speak up. And in this situation, as I said, I refer to as the people not being established and ready for this process. There's other ways. I see financial issues throughout all of these situations. It's okay to have financial issues. This is a tough world. It's cold, it's cruel, it's unforgiving. But when you go in this type of process, wanting a husband, wanting a wife, some things need to be in place and they need to be established well. And before we go any further, let me point out something. Lindsay and Mark the Shark came back from Puerto Rico. Lindsay say, I gotta wash my face before I go to bed. They jumped in the bed with their clothes from Puerto Rico coming off the plane, got in the bed and tussling and tossing. I'm sure why they tussling and moving. They got all that bacteria and chemicals and dirt from all day from traveling. Get in the bed? You just got off a plane? Y'all kidding me, right? Y'all kidding me. Please, edit and show me something different. That is so ridiculous. I know everybody has different hygiene regimens, but that is ridiculous to show. It's ridiculous. All right, let me go on to the next point. Again, we're seeing poverty. We're going to Mark the Shark's bedridden, abandoned apartment. And now we see, and I heard, if anybody picked up, Mark the Shark actually has a roommate in that place. I heard Lindsay say that. But Lindsay is still being Lindsay. She's telling Mark what he needs to get rid of, what he needs to bring. And he don't need to bring nothing. That place got bed bugs. Set it on fire, burn everything, get new shoes, get new clothes. But he has some kind of sentimental things that he wants to take and be. But Lindsay wants to throw it all away. But I see why she want to throw it all away. She ain't got nowhere to put it. Lindsay lives in a junior one-bedroom apartment from 1941 with the radiators up, talking about, well, hey, listen, you ain't got to live there no more. Get your stuff. We move and take my stuff, whatever you're going to do, and just bring it on my house. Lindsay can't put another spoon in that apartment. And Mark should be concerned, like, this ain't going to work. I can't bring my shoes over here. It ain't enough space. This is crazy. She talked big stuff about, he ain't got to live. He might as well go back to that apartment, get a new bed, get the bed bug man to remedy that out, because he got more space than her. Even though it looks like he lives at the top level of like a craftsman house where he like lives in the attic, he still got more space than her. And I see a lacking all the way around. Looks like people might be right. Steve living better than everybody, pretty much. Steve, what? Is he the only one on his own besides Lindsay? And I don't call that being on your own when I look at Lindsay. But no, I'm definitely not giving Steve no credit. Steve is 38, and I'm sure we haven't heard all of Steve's story. But let's get back to Mark and Lindsay. Mark is like, he's really afraid of confrontation. And with his lack of being able to speak up, his idea of dealing with problems is sweeping everything under the rug. And a lot of people feel that way. They may not say it out loud, but that's how they treat their problems. And it only gets bigger and worse and undealt with. That's not a person, because some people believe confrontation is such a negative thing, and it's not, as long as it's a healthy discussion. When you confront something, You're bringing it to the table. You're analyzing the problem, and you're finding like a new solution to deal with it. You're going to come away differently than you were before. It's not going to be the same problem reoccurring again and again and again because you're dealing with it. You're facing it. Mark the Shark doesn't believe in that. And it was a thing where like Mark went over to Lindsay's apartment. He was like kind of clowning the apartment. He's like, yeah, this is so you, so Mother Earth. It's so Lindsay. You know, because Mark always got these catchphrases, which himself, he doesn't like that. Lindsay is condescending. He's condescending as well with his passive aggressive remarks about her. Yeah, this is so you. This is so. He's saying something negative. He's not saying like, oh, this fits your personality. He's not saying that at all. And he's not innocent. Nobody is innocent in any of these relationships. But Mark himself, he won't take accountability. They really had it out with like when Pastor Cal came over. And Lindsay was like furious with him. Like she trying to talk to this man even before Pastor Cal came over. She telling him like, hey, I'm seeing a different person. Granted, he is going through something like his grandmother's 70 pounds. I guess she's not eating. He's dealing with his landlord and his roommate constantly bothering him. Like that shows that Mark doesn't have a backbone or has boundaries with people. That's a problem. And then when you understand, when you bring somebody else into your life, all that stuff you going through affects them as well. He's looking crazy. He's looking weak out here. Because he is. He's weak. Mark the Shark is just a character that eats goldfish for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and brushes his teeth like this, like moving his head. That's Mark the Shark. And he's a people pleaser. So I mean, to me, they having a rocky start, and I get that why Lindsay is so frustrated with Mark, but she's got to understand she's everything what her father says. She's a lot to deal with. She her tongue will cut you up and destroy you, and that doesn't work in a marriage. That filter, that non-filter, people say, well, that's just the way I am. Like, if you talking to me and you care about me, you do need to choose your words carefully so they won't hurt me or damage me. You know, that it's just like abuse, like somebody hitting you. People say, oh, it's just talking. No, that hurts people. That breaks people down, men or women. That's not cool ever for anybody to do that. And so Lindsay is pretty much unraveling. She's at her limit with Mark. She's like so frustrated with him. And Pastor Cal, when he came, he really kind of broke it down. And just point out another detail. You know I point out details. Pastor Cal, he almost coming like an old pimp daddy corny line. He coming in, hey, the last time I seen you, you weren't married before. Like, oh my God, Pastor Cal. So he did it twice to, I forgot what other couple he did it to. It's just stupid. But Pastor Cal really broke down why they matched them. And it actually made sense. So I do believe that they are part of the process, because it's saying like they needed to match each other's energy, and Mark needed someone to show affection to him and like really support him and be down for him because he hasn't received that in relationships. Lindsay needed someone to ground her and match her energy, but Mark is still not a match for Lindsay. She's just like, she's way too much. But again, Pascal was just making like great points throughout the whole situation. He was very objective in the situation, but you know, Lindsay was quick to agree with Pastor Cal on his points, but she wasn't kind of agreeing with him on like what Mark was saying, because Mark was trying to get his side out and saying, you know, her non-filter, it comes off or it hits him and triggers him in different ways. And Lindsay's like, oh, well, let's sift through the BS. And, you know, I didn't even understand you understood what he said, Pastor Cal. It was like a big old run-on sentence, which was very offensive and insulting. And, I mean, it's demeaning the way Lindsay talks to Mark sometimes, because I can't even imagine what off camera is like, because when he's expressing his point, she's like, eyes up here. That's what you tell a child, to let them know that when you speak to people, you need to look them in the eyes to exude confidence and the truth. But she's still mothering him, and I don't think it's a good fit. So let's just get on to the last couple. I mean, I've been like Michael. I've been avoiding doing this. I don't want to tell the truth. I don't want to get into it about Chris and Alyssa. So I'm going to try to take this as easy as I can, because again, I said to myself, I almost don't want to review the situation, but hopefully this is the last we see of them. Alyssa met with her mother, and we can see her mother's such an enabler as well, but still trying to correct her. And they both they thinking Chris supposed to be a cowboy in Boston. They want a cowboy. I mean, like, how unrealistic is that? Go move to Texas. You want a cowboy. So Alyssa's mother did tell her, like, well, I think Chris is a nice looking guy, and you should give him a chance, and blah, blah, blah. And Alyssa's more so like, you don't know the way he talks to me, the way he treats me, And I see why now Alyssa doesn't want to talk on camera, because that'll give Chris a case. She can accuse him of all these evil things, that he's disrespecting her and doing all these things. She just started making up stuff about him. And before we let Alyssa rest in peace, has anybody noticed that Alyssa has that Henry tick? And I'm referring to, like, I think it was Christine and Henry from maybe 3 seasons ago. Like, when she talking, she'll go, I got to point that out. I don't feel no kind of way with Alyssa. She deserves all the extra and smoke that she gonna get. Something wrong with Alyssa. She didn't put on the application. Something's going on. So I was just really glad to see that Chris was finally making a stand up for himself. And I get it that, like, he probably had to do this in the presence of a pastor cow or what have you, because that's the only time he gets to speak freely. Anytime it gets hot or Alyssa doesn't want to talk about something, she walks. So I get that he had to stand up and say, like, hey, this is like it for me, and tell the whole truth about what's going on with Alyssa, that, she's just here for the wrong reasons. And it was really time. I don't know if it was a requirement for the show, because people tell me, oh, he might get fined, or who cares about that? Somebody just picking and destroying at your mental health or whatever, so be it. Money is money, but I ain't sitting for that. All money ain't good money for me. I ain't gonna let nobody treat me like that. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I know, because I ain't signed up to say that I'm gonna let somebody treat me like that, because I wouldn't. It's just not worth it to me. And regardless of what, Alyssa's just playing the victim to the end. She wanted this so bad. She did it for all the right reasons. She worked so hard to get here. And let's not forget, she's always a good person. Chris had to let Pascal know, like, hey, this is my time. This is my decision day. I'm done. It's over. And Alyssa's still crying, act like she hurt and all that. She was just trying to prolong the process and continue to drag him so she can do a reset like a Haley and Jacob until she can get to the end. But now the joke's on her. She ain't got nobody. And there's no way, and I'll tell you, this is the last time for me addressing her unless it's at the reunion. There's no way they gonna let her stay in that shared apartment after Chris has bowed out. And if it is, so be it. They might say, oh, she's still hanging with the girls when they go to girl time. I don't even know if I'm even speak on her again. I can tell you that, because it's been too much. Well, like I said, that was it for the episode. The next episode look like it's getting better and better, and I'm waiting for it, because we need the drama. We need that exposure for these broken, low income level people. We need to find out what's going on. So let me know down in the comments again what you think. Give me your opinion. Let's go back and forth. Do what we do. Maybe change some perspectives or agree. Whatever we're going to do. I'm ready to do it. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Let me know down in the comments if you think the other format would be better. I need some feedback. I'm a man of the people. So as I always say, y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate that, and I really mean it.